This is problem 8-82 from the classwork for section 8.2.3. And what we're trying to do in this problem is figure out which of the numbers below are correctly written in scientific notation. For each that is not, rewrite it correctly. All right, so it might be useful for us to just do a quick review of what scientific notation should look like. So the scientific notation consists of two factors. And these factors, when multiplied together, create the number in standard form. But this is scientific notation. And the first factor needs to be less than 10 and larger than or equal to 1. So this is written in less than, larger than notation. In plain English, it's down here, less than 10, larger than or equal to 1. So that's what that number has to be. Basically, it's between 1 and 10. But it includes 1. Whereas over here, this is a power of 10. So the second factor, and remember, factors are two numbers that are multiplied together, so that's why this is there. The factor must be a power of 10. So it's base 10, and then there has to be a power next to it. Okay. So that's the review of scientific notation. So let's take a look at A. So let's look at the first factor. Is this factor between 1 and 10? And is it less than 10, but larger than or equal to 1? And because this is 4.51, we can say yes, this fits what the first factor should be. So let's look at the second factor. So it needs to be a power of 10, it needs to be a base 10, and then have some exponent, and it does. So we know right now that A is written correctly. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and write that down. So for 8-82, A is scientific notation. Okay, so now we need to take a look at B and see if B is written correctly in scientific notation. Okay. So let's take a look at our rules again. Okay, so is the first factor less than 10, but larger than or equal to 1? So when we look at this, we realize, it is 0.789. So it's less than 1. So it does not fit the criteria for the first factor. However, the second factor is okay. It's a power of 10. So it's got a base 10 and it has a power. So that part is okay. It's just this part that is not okay. So the great thing about scientific notation is that both of those factors need to add up to the number that it's supposed to be, or not add up, multiplied together equal the number that it's supposed to be. So we can actually just trade tens between these numbers. So this number right now is 0.789. And then if we multiply that, it's 10 to the 5th power. All right, so we have some extra tens over here. So this is really 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. And we need this to be just one decimal place over. So if we borrow one of these tens from here and make this 0.789 times 10. So if we take that one and move it over here, then we can change this to 7.89. So once we've shifted that 10 over, then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 10s left, so we can make this 10 to the 4th power. All right, so let's take a look at the last two.